Yes, we are dreaming reality while sheltering in place. 4 weeks and counting. How's everybody doing? Hope you're well. Thanks for stopping by. This is my channel. Dreaming reality with God and music and me and you right now. So I'm going to talk about a lot of things, I think, that are on my mind. Start off with some Corona. Get that out of the way. Let's see here. Okay. I think you can see that. That's currently my location. Those are the stats. Currently at 85 cases. Of those, 54 are active. 3 have died. And 28 have recovered. So that's where I live here in California, Merced County. Let's check out the... Whoa. Uh-oh. I need to check something here. I think I'm putting out information. So let's turn that off. No, okay. I thought I was putting out my key there. I got a little worried. So, let's go back here. And let me turn that back on. That's current numbers for the world, or fairly current. I don't know when it was last updated. It's growing. It continues. The numbers continue to grow. Yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and turn that off. So I'm not going to talk too much about the coronavirus itself. I hope the voice, sound volume and all that music's not too loud. So yeah, I'm here 4 weeks counting, sheltering in place. I hear middle of next month. I don't know. It's weird being in this moment and time and the world and the situation and the thoughts that people are putting out there. I don't know. I feel like the news that people in America watch, like the known networks, like they're behind in the reporting. Maybe it's just because the stuff I'm listening to, it's unverifiable, I guess. I don't know. I don't think so. Not from what I'm seeing. Like this stuff really seems to be going after the lungs and like clotting. They used, what was the word? It wasn't thrombosis, which I know. Oop, there I go, touching myself. It was a form of that word, little micro clots in the lungs. Very aggressive. I haven't really heard much about that on the networks. Other thing, again, I don't want to get into it. I think if you want to know, you'll look, you'll listen. I think there's a lot more going on than just this virus. Clearly, I'm witness to the world standing still, so to speak. It is come to a standstill. I mean, there's no big UFO landed or anything like that, but the world has come to a stop. As far as I'm concerned, from where I am, my point of view, my perspective on things, I can't do anything. Can't go anywhere. Not really. I see this. This is. I mean, I've voiced my thoughts that there's could be an element of this being created, not by nature. It's not outside the boundaries of possibility. It just simply isn't. That is a mindset that, whether you embrace it or not, it exists out there. Why they have these labs all around the world studying viruses and anything biological. And there is a component of it that does so in regards to the knowledge being used for protection. That's the mindset. A weapon of war. It exists. It's there. Just that's one of those. It's like a no-brainer. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that. I mean, we're very aware of what is going on in the world, especially when it comes to government. All the agencies of the government. Should turn this back on, make sure there. So I know that I'm live. Minimize this so I don't get all that bright off of the screen. Okay. So the government, we're all aware of the things government is capable of doing. I'm not saying government as a whole is bad. I just am trying to get past that mentality that thinks and believes that government is all good. There is no error in any actions that such an agency does. I mean, this country has laws written to protect. It goes a step farther in that it protects those people that would do something wrong. There goes my phone. I see this virus as a test. Somebody's watching, seeing what the reaction is, what's the response time. They are. They waste this opportunity. I don't know who said whatever they said, but there's somebody that said something along those lines. Gonna make the best of even the worst the worst moments. I see so much more going on here right now than just this virus. There's a shift in it's like in the air. You can feel it. You can almost touch it. It's that close, undeniable. It's not going back to the way it was. Again, there are these minds that are watching, and they're taking advantage of the situation. They're always doing this. Everything that happens, there's a reaction. It's going to be different. It's not going to go back. Now, as far as the future is concerned, I think I want to say, the end has come. It's here, because obviously I'm saying we can't go back. So that in itself is like an ending. You can't go back. It's over with. So what's coming next? Where are we going from here? I believe there's just so many things that are taking place right now besides this virus. There's so much going on, always is, that is pointing at you, telling you to take a moment, sit down if you need to, find a tree and lean against it. Just find a quiet place with just you and think about everything that's going on right now in the world. Why? Why are all these things going on in the world right now? And you don't have to rack your brain. I think that just the first three that pop off the top of your mind. And my first one will be money. I'll start with money. I think money is connected to pretty much everything in the reality that I live in. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Money. Period. Without it, you're nothing. You die, you wither away if you're a human. That's how powerful money is. That's how far it reaches into your life and everything around you. So I think I think that's the only one you really need. I think that's kind of a universal realization right now. And I say that because everybody knows this. Either you are on one side of the fence or you are on the other, but that doesn't negate the fact that both sides are aware. Both sides see money. As far as how it's used, that's where the division comes in, and you have the sides. You have two sides. Right now we're dealing with a quarantine for the most part. I'm in quarantine. I am. So is everybody around me. You can call it whatever fancy wording you want to put on it. Sheltering in place. I'm under quarantine. I'm under lockdown. And the money is coming to a standstill. Again, the world has come to a stop. It's not a UFO that did it, it was a virus. The money has come to a stop, and what does the government do? The government creates money out of thin air that you will pay back. I hear all the fancy wordings, it's not taxable, and what yada yada. But in the end, it has to be repaid. Period. Who pays it? Government. Who's government? You, the people. Got to keep the money flowing. That's the solution, right? You really think so? Virus didn't get us to where we're at. We got ourselves to where we're at. All the virus has done is forced us to look at how we go about our business. That's the truth. There's no more truth really in this world. It's really failing, fading, because there's no money in truth. Everything's becoming built, has been built on lies. Lies that need to be contained. What's the easiest way to contain a lie? One that, unless you are the only one who knows, the only way to keep that would be you. But if others know besides you, money always comes back to the money. I'm at a weird place right now because yesterday I chose to watch on Netflix, did a little binge watching, and chose to watch Making of a Murderer, and I'd seen it there for the last couple of months, but I hadn't watched it. Wasn't on my list of I want to go and see that. But as I was going down, it gets bigger and you can see a little bit more information. And thing that caught my eye was the number. It had been given awards, some documentary awards, whatever. And so that piqued my curiosity. I mean, wonder what this is about. That it's getting rave reviews, and I thought it was only 2 parts because it shows 2 parts, but then when you went to it and started, it's 2 parts, and each part is made up of 10 subparts. So it was a little lengthy. But once I started watching, excuse me, I think from early on I was just kind of blown away by the end of the first episode. Like it was unreal that such a thing could happen. I don't know what to say. I really lost watching that, because I watched the whole thing through. I watched it hoping, myself, if I had never ever, because that was the first time I came across, what's his name, Stephen Avery. Never heard of him, and so if I were to go back in time, like day before yesterday, before I started watching this show, docuseries, and suddenly I was the day before, where I didn't even know that he existed, and found myself as a juror, just like at the snap of a finger. I'm now sitting as a juror, and this is in front of me happening. I'm hearing about this case. Based on what I saw and who I am in my mind, based on what I saw, and this was before the Mr. Avery took on a new attorney. The woman, Kathleen, what I saw gave me enough to say to myself, I cannot convict. Not that I wouldn't, but that at that point in time I could not, because there were questions in my mind that I felt needed to be answered, and they were questions that were being asked by the attorneys, the lawyers, but they're not allowed to talk about these things. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not some genius of genius, but I know enough to know that what I saw stunk. It stunk. I saw the law being challenged, and the law did not like that. Especially there in Wisconsin, in that county where this all took place. I don't get it. I mean, but I do get it, because it's not any different than everything else around me that's going on as far as the interaction amongst people. All the lies they tell each other. All trying to get ahead of the other. Yar. That's the game. Who's going to be the winner? Oh, you got to be kidding me. You really do. Here's a man that was put in prison for 18 years there, but I don't know. He was in there for a long time. Put in there when he was 18 or he was young for a crime that turned out that he did not do, and that he had stated from the beginning he did not do. And he got released, but should have gotten released much earlier. But because of the conduct of the law, it was just so blatantly obvious in your face. It was like an insult to my intelligence and each and every one of you. And this goes beyond Americans. This is a world thing. This is a human being. I saw my overall impression, having just watched the last episode a few hours ago, see, I'm like speechless. I'm dumbfounded. Because I'm outside the box. I'm looking at all of this outside the box, and I'm not just looking at Mr. Avery and becoming aware of what has transpired with him. I'm able to expand myself outside and see that is an act that is occurring on a much grander scale to so many more people, and has been. Not to the extent of Mr. Avery, but the mistreatment of the abuse of power, I believe, happens a lot more. I mean, people want to believe in the good in people. Why would you not? And I am totally there on that page. But the reality of it is, money does some pretty to people. Especially those who don't have money to begin with. Those are the ones that'll do anything for it. Anything. Take away the money, that incentive, and then let's have a conversation about the true nature of humans, of people. Their true intent. People are good. Let's talk about it then. Right now, it's not on the table. Money. I'm sorry, money. Money's why we're in this situation right now. Not the virus. Virus is just showing us, is putting a spotlight on a situation that's been there, is here right now, has been, always was. I'm loving it. I'm not loving it in that I'm sending out energy that, oh yeah, the virus, everybody gets it, yeah. No, not at all. But I am excited that because of this virus and the ramifications of what is occurring of it, I am excited because it has put people in a place that they would not have gone to. Not on their own. And now that they're there, they're forced to reevaluate, relook at the situation. I'm hoping that this time that we all have right now, or a good many of us have right now, that we're not wasting it, that we're doing a lot of reflecting that we've been putting to the side, neglecting. I hope we are. And realizing that this is much bigger than just this virus. These are all the problems of the world coming together. A big crescendo. Like with this whole Mr. Avery. That, again, I am just blown away by what I was witness to, what I saw being presented to me. Again, it's like a no-brainer and an insult to my intelligence to say to me, if you don't accept what you are being told, then you're a problem. I don't think so. Not to me, anyways, or not for me. Maybe for you. I think it's all the timing of all these things that are taking place right now. Just unreal. Surreal. I mean, those are two words that just keep coming up again and again and again, and they have for like the last few years. Just the things that are going on in the world. I'd say the Mandela effect. That was like a starting point. It was like once you got to that point, the unrealness of everything was sealed, in that you didn't need anything more to know that something is different. It's not the same world that it was. Somehow, some way, reality on that level brought me, and I suspect many others, to that point in my thinking. And it just keeps happening. Yeah, like this virus, got the virus happening, and now society has come to a standstill. Government's giving out money. It seems unreal. I watch a show about a man who was falsely put in prison a good chunk of his life, gets out because the law made mistakes, and you can't deny it. I mean, it's just a fact. And so the man that gets out is going to sue. That's what we all, I think, be telling it. Sue, because of the money. It's all about the money. So he's going to sue for $36 million. I mean, he's talking with the governor of Wisconsin, and they're setting up programs, going to be writing laws, and he's going to sue. He's going to be suing the city, the county, $36 million. This is all happening real fast, with him within the span of him getting out, until he then found himself back. He wasn't out very long. I'm sorry. It was unreal. Watching that show, it was unreal. It was surreal. I feel for everybody that was wronged. And see, here's the thing: you got those people out there that look at me and any others out there that are saying to themselves, "Well, hold on a sec. I'm not so sure he's guilty." I'm not. I'm hearing. New evidence is coming to light. Reevaluation, re-examination of already established evidence is showing different answers than we were told. And again, it's an insult to my intelligence to say that all that means nothing. And then the process one has to go through to even get to the point where you can say, hey, what about this and this? Time and time again, you keep saying it. It's just ridiculous. It's a sign to me that power has gotten far out of control. And that also means to me that most likely what will come of it is something to offset that power. And something is holding more than it should. There needs to be a balancing. That's how it works. That's how nature works. Maybe it's just me. I've been sheltering in place for 4 weeks plus, and it's just a little too much, right? I'm just crazy in my thoughts. I don't think so, though. It's ridiculous, all this that's going on right now. I think I'll spend a few minutes and then I'm going to wind this one down. Hope you're listening to the music. There's just so much in the music. There's a conversation happening. Communication. Reaching out to you personally, individually, in the most intimate way possible. I mean, it's private. Couldn't ask for more. And that's going to bring me to some UFOs. Let's talk UFOs just for a brief moment, and then I'm going to sign off. I'm always wondering what this intelligence thinks of us. Because I do believe we're being watched. Something is watching us. Some people call it God, some people call it aliens, whatever you want to call it. There's an intelligence that's observing. It's taking notes. It has been for all of our history, the planet's history. What does it think of us right now and what's going on? And how people are reacting, how people are being treated. I think right now I'm thinking of is it Michigan, where they're out protesting because they're tired of being told they can't go out. I don't know what to say. Other than there's a reason why they were told to stay home. That's assuming there's this virus and it's out there and it's doing what it's doing, spreading. Supposedly spreading where I am. Every day when I get the alerts from the county I'm in, it's going up. The deaths, there hasn't been more deaths, so it's been sitting at 3 for a week or two. There's a reason why they were told to stay home. Now, I'm not trying to put off any of the reasons why those people would choose to go out. I know it had a lot to do with voting and that whole process, which I've been wondering about that too, like with the presidency and voting for that and what's going to happen with all that. I just think there's a breakdown of so many things occurring right now. This infection goes far beyond just a virus that you can envision in your mind. Much farther. The virus is like everything around us is infected. It's not right. Not the way it should be. Back to this intelligence watching us, wondering what do they think as they're observing us go through this. I think they're doing the only thing they can do. And I say this because if they could have done something, I think they would have already, a long time ago. Why not? I think they're doing the only thing they can do. And that's keeping the hope alive. Hoping that you will wake up. Isn't that what the message has pretty much been from the beginning of time? Is, you go all religious and God and what God is all about, and it all comes back to you. You have the free will. So I think that that's all they can do, is have hope. Now, if I were to reach out on an empathic level, emotionally, I would say that I sense sadness, confusion coming from them in regards to all of us. And when I say them, I think that's more to put a human element to it, because it's beyond them. This is about, in a way, it's coming to that point where all the answers, everything you've ever wanted to know, need to know, all of it, nothing left out, nothing spared, all. You have it now. You know it all. You possess it all. Yeah, I need to slow down. I gotta remember the audience, especially when I'm putting coronavirus stuff in the titles, and then I start going off on these tangents. I haven't watched any Dr. Oz or Phil or any of those, but I think it was Dr. Phil has something about mental health, and I don't know. I'm not much of a Dr. Phil viewer. I don't even know if he's an actual doctor. So many of these people are actual, like, actors, personas, mental health. I don't know. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of used to this, though, being by myself. I think I prefer it, only because I don't feel a connection with everybody. Not that I don't want to. I don't feel like I have a connection because I feel like I'm on a page where I have this perception of the universe, and that page in regards or in relation to others around me and their page, my page is in another universe. So far away that I feel like it's pointless to try. I mean, I have tried, but it doesn't really get me far. I find more regrets out of it. Of wishing, maybe I should just not have said anything. Don't even talk. Again, that's why I say it's easy for me to be by myself. I think that I'm more bothered by the not being able to go out if I want to. Because there's times when I do want to go out. Like I want to go out and see this comet. And, yeah. I need to do a more focused UFO conversation, because that's important. This ET presence, this intelligence. I call it an intelligence, and I think it's already talking to us, all of us. I think it's been from the beginning. Why would it not? I mean, that's something that humans, you got to remove from the equation in your mind, and as far as relating to whatever this is. You have expectations of it being you, acting like you, thinking like you, and that is not the stance to have. It doesn't. It's more. It's more than that. I think it understands everything about us. And I think that's what scares or can scare a lot of people. That kind of power, knowledge in the hands of another. And I've said this before or shared this on my Facebook page over the years, that everything about you are accountable for. And you cannot escape it. Your life, your existence is no different than a DVD or a Blu-ray that you pop into a player and play it. You can go forward, you can rewind, you can pause it. Take a picture. Still. Everything about you is on that disc. And I think that we have come to a point in our existence, in time, the situation around us that we are in, we've come to a time when we need to accept that and understand it and work with it instead of fighting it. Okay. Hope you all are well. I don't know how long you guys will all be sheltering in place. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that whole thing. I guess we'll see. I hope we know what we're doing. I'm of the camp that feels like we should have just did this from the get-go back in February, early February, we should have just locked down right then and there. But we didn't. There's just so much. I wanted to stop, and I am going to stop it, but there's just so much to this whole story that's just unreal, surreal. Like the World Health Organization and pandemic. I've been watching. I watch Chris Mortensen. What is it? Peak Prosperity, I believe, is the channel, YouTube channel, and I've been watching him since back in January. I don't think I caught his first one when he first started talking, but pretty much right there around that time. So, and I've watched religiously every day that he puts one up. And so I know what he was saying when he was saying it. And he was pointing out the World Health Organization and on all their criteria for a pandemic, but yet the World Health Organization wasn't issuing one. And it was kind of mind-boggling, confusing to me in my mind, like an insult to my intelligence, kind of like with this whole Netflix show that I was talking about just a moment ago. It was a mind fill in the rest, because it really messed with my mind. All of this is messing with my mind. That's why I don't know. Part of me is like, I was already at a place in my mind where I felt like just let it be. Just let it be. Be yourself. Because, if reality is changing, you're never ever going to have another moment like that to be yourself and get away with it. Because anything can be. Why not? If reality is changing, I think the truth is coming. And I think that everything that we're seeing right now, all the things that are unfolding is that we're being exposed to, seeing all the deception and the lies come to light. That's all a process of the truth coming into the light. That's how the truth comes into the light. By tearing away all these lies and manipulations that have been set in place to masquerade the truth. It's coming. It's coming. Be well and smile. That's so key. It's very important. It does a mind good.